Hi, thanks for tuning into High on Horror. I'm Drew.
And I'm John. This episode and every future episode is dedicated to the horror hounds and smokers out there who want to expand their knowledge of the genre and have a good time.
The latest in psycho robot doll genre is M3GAN, Model 3 generative android, and she's top of the line killer tech. And we're going to review it today on High on Horror. Interviews, reviews, and the latest news all rolled into one. All right, so we're going to start this episode off like we always do and get cooking before the goods get going. So, John, what are we smoking today, brother? What do you got for us today?
I don't have anything special. I didn't get to the dispensary. Maybe next week I'll have a new strain, but it's some more of that sticky glue. That shit's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, something I wanted to bring up to you while you get that ready, and to you listeners out there who haven't, who did not know this, according to Bloody Disgusting, the Crystal Lake, first of all, there's a Crystal Lake television series that's coming up from A24 and Peacock.
If you somehow are unaware of that. Correct.
It's run by Brian Fuller, who's, obviously known for Hannibal. Well, there's the news broke that not only, there's been kind of news here and there about the show leaking. People have been wondering. I've seen some fake fan posters made, but Bloody Disgusting actually posted that Kevin Williamson from Scream is going to be writing an episode.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. That Brian Fuller apparently pitched 4 seasons, but only 1 season has been greenlit so far. But the killer here, the big news here is that some people's favorite final girl, a damn good final girl at that, not my favorite, but Adrienne King, who plays Alice Hardy in Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th Part 2, is going to have a reoccurring role and be on several episodes of the show playing the part of Alice Hardy.
I will say our favorite not final girl is Laura Marie Taylor.
Correct. But I mean...
who is your favorite final girl from...
From Friday the 13th? Like from the Friday...
From the series, yeah.
Damn, that's a tough one, man. I've never been asked that question. Damn. I've never been asked that question, bro.
I know. It just popped to me. That would have... For all you lazy listeners out there, that would have been a good PPA question.
Yeah. But how do you feel about like Adrienne King being on the show and the fact that A24 is doing it and it's going to be on Peacock and Brian Fuller? I mean, look, all the stars seem like they're aligning. It's been like 14 years since something's been done with the Friday the 13th series. And apparently it's going to cover Mrs. Voorhees and Jason. The show's going to be about both of their lives. So, I mean, from what I'm telling you, what I've read, it sounds pretty decent, right? What's your thoughts?
Yeah. And, what's Fuller's first name again?
Brian Fuller.
Brian Fuller, because every time you say it, I keep thinking Kurt Fuller.
Which, I totally get that.
This is going to be funny, I feel like. When you think of Kurt Fuller, what's the first movie that comes to mind?
What's funny is that you said Kurt Fuller, but I thought of Kurt Loder, the old MTV.
So we're just
the old MTV, right? Kurt Fuller, I think a Scary Movie.
Okay, I feel like most people would say Scary Movie, Wayne's World. No, whenever you say Kurt Fuller, the first movie that pops in my head, you're gonna laugh at me. It's because I watched it so much on a recorded VHS tape.
Okay.
No Holds Barred. With Hulk Hogan, man. I just think of that all the time.
I dig it. I can get down with that.
Dude, as a kid, man, fucking Hulkamania was running wild. I watched the shit out of that VHS. Because I think the way my dad had it recorded it was a special with the No Holds Barred movie. It went into the pay-per-view event of him against Zeus.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, because the movie actually led into a pay-per-view. Like, that's fucking crazy. You imagine that now? Like, if they put out, like, the fucking Marine with John Cena, and, like, his enemy from the movie ends up being, like, his opponent at a pay-per-view.
Oh, that'd be wild. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the dude who played Zeus was fucking Debo from Friday.
Yeah, that's right, actually. I do remember that.
Okay, we got out of the weeds here. That's my fault.
But I do want to say real quick, that to answer your question about my favorite Scream Queen of the Friday the 13th series, I'm going to say Kimberly Beck from... my favorite one, of course, the final chapter.
That's who I
mean,
figured you were gonna go with.
if you count that little Tommy Doyle don't shank her based on the way the movie ends, but don't actually see her die, so I'm going to say she's my favorite final girl of the series.
I was going to say, does this count? Laurie Campbell from Freddy versus Jason?
Technically, okay, yeah. That's a good answer, actually. I like that answer. It's nice to see Freddy versus Jason brought into it a little bit.
As I was going to say, as I kind of said, of course, to yours, I mean, trying to be non-biased, but you're going to say I'm being biased. Megan Garris. She counts as a final girl.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if you want to argue that it was about Tommy and she's not a final girl, but she's pretty badass.
Yeah,
for one of the final girls.
I get that. I get that.
But if you don't want to count her, I mean, I guess in the mainline series, I'd have to go with Amy Steele.
Amy Steele's always a solid choice for sure. All right, so I think we figured out who our favorite final girl was. That was nice because no one's ever asked me that question before. I'm glad
I know
it just
and even because Monster Mania, I'm surprised we haven't even talked about it recently because of Monster Mania having the 1 through 4 final girls reunion coming up in March. I think that's the March one.
The 13th through the 15th or something like that. It's early March, mid-March.
Yeah, well, now I think it's time to get into the main reason y'all here, Megan. But first, we got a message from today's sponsor, the sponsor of today's show, Podbean.
Are you tired of listening to podcasts and thinking, even I could do better than that? Well, now's your chance to put your money where your mouth is. We've partnered with Podbean to give you 1 free month of unlimited hosting. That's right, 1 whole month to get your podcast off the ground and into the ears of listeners everywhere. Simply go to www.podbean.com/HoH to sign up and get started. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today and let your voice be heard with Podbean. That's www.podbean.com/HoH. And now, back to our show.
That sexy voice that you all just heard is our producer and editor, Josh Hensley. Thanks for that, Josh. Now getting into Megan. Megan was mostly filmed in New Zealand, and director Gerard Johnston said that it was a bit of a struggle at times to make New Zealand look like America, and I believe that. As a matter of fact, the place where Gemma, played by Allison Williams, works, where she builds Megan, is actually the AUT University campus, Auckland University of Technology. And speaking of the actor Allison Williams, she was actually signed on to play the part of Gemma a year before the production began. After she got the role, the pandemic happened and slowed everything down. Right, this movie was ready to rock, and then the pandemic just slowed everything down like it always does. But or like it always did, should I say? But the director, Gerard Johnston, he's known for the 2014 New Zealand horror comedy Housebound. And John, I've praised Housebound since day one. And Joe Bob even did it recently on the last drive-in. Gerard stated that Housebound was inspired by Insidious, which is actually, it's nice because now he's working with James Wan, and James Wan is a producer of Megan. So it's pretty cool because Insidious was James Wan's. He was inspired by him. Now he's working with him, but Megan was not made with the intention of being PG-13. James Wan and Jason Blum would have been fine with an R. However, the movie just came back PG-13, and they were cool with it because they made the movie that, in their eyes, that's the movie they wanted to make. And here's a little trivia for you. Actor Amy Donald, the little girl who plays Megan when she's not a puppet, she had to wear an animatronic mask. They wanted you to forget that Megan was a robot at times and think of her as human, which is why she moves the way she does. It's really unique. All right, John, take us through it.
Yeah, I hit that twice. I figured you were talking, so I just went ahead and took another hit.
I'm cool with that. Take it over.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't realize till I read the credits that there was somebody playing, because the credits listed as a person. Not that I thought it was all just animatronic. They did such a good job that I couldn't tell it was a person.
Agreed.
And it's funny it's PG-13 because I think of a scene in the movie, and then it makes me think of a scene from the movie. What was the Be Cool? I was going to say the sequel to Get Shorty.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to, but the one kid says, fuck you in the movie. But it got a PG-13. In the movie Be Cool, I don't know if you remember it, but I think it's James Woods and John Travolta are in the car, and James Woods talking about the movie industry and how you get ratings. And he goes, did you know you can say the F word in a movie once and you get to keep a PG-13 rating? And kind of the same thing as in here. He goes, you know what I say to that? Fuck that. And it's the only time they say fuck in Be Cool, and it got a PG-13 rating.
Oh, it's funny.
So when you were talking about the rating, I didn't even really notice the rating, but then you said that, I went, well, they said fuck, and it made me think of that scene from Be Cool.
It edged out a PG-13 rating.
Edged it out. But today we're going to be talking about M3GAN. I guess it's a mashup of horror, thriller, and sci-fi.
Yeah, definitely some sci-fi.
Kind of like, you know what I'm going to say? It's Child's Play and Terminator.
Total, dude, I was just going to say that. That's what I was going to say.
A lot of Terminator homages lately. But M3GAN follows the story of a young girl named Katie, played by Violet McGraw, and she becomes an orphan after her parents are killed in an accident. And
hold on, right there. I want to say something. If I were a character in this film, John, I dare you to tell me that I'm wrong on this. If I were a character in this movie, it would be Katie's toy, Leroy, the farting toy that she has in the very beginning before the accident. If I were in the movie, that's me.
I wasn't expecting so much campiness to this movie.
Right, exactly, right. The humor, it's nice.
Yeah, there was some times but the humor didn't like we've talked about this before. Sometimes there's humor that can take you out of the movie. The humor never took you out of the movie, and I would say for the later part of the movie, they just kind of really just cut that entirely.
Correct. Yeah,
which
correct.
I think was well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that accident was fucking. I was not ready for that.
Right. Yeah, the accident happens quick too. First minute or two of the movie, man.
Yeah, they just decide their car breaks down. He lied about having a four-wheel drive. Katie's dad lies about having a four-wheel drive, and his wife's like, "Let's just sit here and we'll wait for it to, clear over." And this was the part. It was some dark humor to it. He goes, "Well, how long are we gonna have to wait for that?" And bam, the fucking snow truck just fucking hits him and fucking kills him. But she gets sent to live with her Aunt Gemma, played by Allison Williams, a roboticist at a high-tech toy company called Funk Guy. I wonder if that was supposed to be a play on Funko.
Funko, correct.
That's
I think it was.
I feel like it probably was. Gemma is currently working on developing a life-size doll called M3GAN, but it's spelled M3GAN. And Drew, you already said what it stood for, so I'm not going through that again because I don't have
Model 3 Generative
Jesus
Android.
Christ.
There we go.
There you go. It's ran by artificial intelligence, and it's designed to assist in caretaking duties and be a loyal companion to the child it's assigned to.
Well, Allison Williams, actually, she had roles in Get Out and The Perfection, which were both fantastic. And you had said to me, you were like, I know her from somewhere. Like, when I told you, you were like, what? That's the same way it was for me. I knew her face, but I couldn't place her. And then when I realized, I was like, oh, shit, that is her.
I didn't know anything. I've been trying to do more of this going into movies. The only thing, I did see a couple trailers for it.
Yeah.
But other than what I saw from the trailer, I didn't know anything about the movie. Didn't know who was in it. But yeah, well, you've already seen it. I went and saw it tonight, but you went with me again.
Yeah.
And yeah, at the end, I was like, where the hell do I know her from? Where do I know her from?
Right,
and
like
get out, and I'm like,
around.
Oh shit, yeah.
She's one of those faces that you've seen around, but I haven't seen around enough to be like, I know her from something immediately. It's like, nah, she was just really familiar to me. But she actually, something that's funny is, she likes the horror genre, but she said that she never really expected to star in them because she didn't think she'd have the stomach for them. I think she's proven herself wrong there.
Yeah, and it's funny because, I was like, there's been that much time between Get Out that she can go from, a college-age, girlfriend to she's playing, not a mom, but, she's old enough. She's a sister.
Yeah. She's old enough to be a mom, for sure.
But I just didn't think we had, she had advanced that far in roles already.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously. And then I look up, and I'm like, oh, wow, Get Out came out in 2017. It's been that long? But after a faulty test, her boss David, orders Gemma to drop the project, but she resolves to complete M3GAN to assist her and Katie. And after a successful completion, Katie's formally paired with M3GAN, and the interaction convinces David of the project's success potential, which that's weird. Like, you just literally go up and like two-finger its palm, and then you're paired with it.
Yeah, there's some that's some like genetic shit going on there. It's way beyond my pay grade, bro. For real, I wouldn't even know how to start some shit like that. I would love to do robotics though, but
I'm very fascinated by AI.
I'm fascinated by it, but I have no idea how the
I'm
fuck
not
it
scared
works.
like Joe Rogan is of it. He's all Joe Rogan and like I guess Elon Musk are all very much of the AI is going to kill us like Skynet.
Yeah. But that's what's funny is Skynet doesn't really kill us. It was the Russians. Because remember, like Skynet just like aimed our missiles at them, so they would have retaliated us, and that's what wiped us out. So Skynet just kind of sent their endoskeletons to kind of clean up what was left.
Yeah, all humanity. But M3GAN exceeds Gemma's expectations for parenthood duties and becomes Katie's best friend to the point where Gemma's colleagues and Katie's therapist, Lydia, become concerned. Like, she's basically doing nothing. It's her, like, number one babysitter, basically.
Yeah.
But, like, it's kind of interesting how, like, she can program it to, like, get the kid to, like, oh, did you wash your hands? Go wash your hands.
Yeah. She literally teaches it to, like, instill things in her. Because I think she says something like 78% of a parent's time is, like, teaching the same lesson over and over again. So she's like, oh, I'll just have M3GAN do it.
Lazy bitch. Katie creates an extremely strong emotional attachment to M3GAN, which her therapist was saying, I don't know the truth of, I don't know the psychology, if it's true or they just throw it in a story, but that after a kid's parents die, the first person they really start interacting with, they can become very much attached to. And her therapist argument is that M3GAN's so much like a person that Katie's developing this super strong attachment to the doll or toy.
Right.
But, and it's not healthy apparently to have a 4-foot female Terminator as your best friend.
Silicone robot, you know, yeah, but yeah, I mean I could see that though. I mean, it's a doll, it talks, it does everything she wants to do. It's you know, everything Katie wants to do. I mean, I can see why she bonded with it. I can see it. Anybody could see it.
As a kid, I'd have fucking loved that, man.
Dude, I know, man.
This should have been awesome. M3GAN starts M3GAN's designed to self-improve and adapt and like super advanced AI. And she starts interacting more independently and targets anything that she deems a threat to Katie, which I think is also Gemma's fault.
Yeah.
Because she gave her the instructions and told her to make sure that no emotional or physical harm comes to Katie.
Correct. Protect her from physical and emotional harm. Yep.
Gemma's namer has a dog. Who's it? Dookie?
Yeah.
I think it
was Dookie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dookie or Dougie, something like Dookie
And,
sounds right.
That bites the neighbor Cecilia. Her dog Dookie bites Katie. Well, actually bites M3GAN first because she was shooting like a bow and arrow set, and one of the arrows went through the hole in the fence.
M3GAN was reaching to get an arrow that Katie had lost,
and
the dog
Katie,
fucking just ragdolls her a little bit and then bites Katie. Yeah.
Yeah. So later on, M3GAN finds her way back to Cecilia's house and finds a way to kill the dog.
Man, M3GAN yoked
Straight
that
yoked
pooch up. She yoked him the fuck up.
And then later, Katie has a bully, Brandon. That's the kid who throws out the "fuck you."
Okay,
dude, that scene, that was the one. I think I was the only one in the theater fucking burst out laughing at that one.
And you laughed a couple of times.
There was a couple times where I laughed by myself.
You didn't just let out a aha. You let out like a like you laughed pretty hard at that.
What, dude? That scene when Gemma, I was going to call her Emma. Gemma and Katie, she's trying to get Katie to interact more with kids and spend less time with M3GAN.
Yeah.
And she takes her to this like outdoor school, or I guess that's what it's supposed to be. But she wants to take M3GAN. There's a whole fight about can't take M3GAN because Gemma's making up bullshit that she has to work on her because she doesn't want her to take her. And eventually the lady there is like, oh, she can like bring her doll and the other kids put their dolls over here. And when Gemma's with the one kid's mom and they're talking about it, she's like, oh, he loves the outdoors. He loves this school. And Gemma goes, oh, which one's yours? And she goes, oh, that's him. That's Brandon. And she goes, Brandon, I love you. And he just turns around and goes, fuck you. That was,
No, she said, are you warm enough? She said, you warm enough? Do you need to button your coat or something like that?
He just turns around and goes, fuck you. Like, that shit got me because I was not ready for that.
And then she just covers it up with, how, you never know what they're going to say. You just said he was an angel.
Later it cuts to her while shit's going down with Brandon. And it cuts back and she goes, they say that the more rebellious and basically the kids cussing at you just means that they're more intelligent.
Try to cover it up. Yeah, man. Parents.
But M3GAN gets to Brandon, the bully, because he takes M3GAN. At first I thought that scene was about to get really fucking weird for a second when he took off the shoe.
Yeah,
Did you hear the woman next to me in the theater?
No.
She went, oh, what? Like when he sat on top of her and like took off her shoe.
I thought that it might get a little rapey too. First time I saw it, I'm like, was he going to try to molest the doll?
Yeah, the woman next to me when he took the shoe off, she's just like, oh, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm like sitting there like, I'm with you. Is this about to get extra fucking weird? So you have to try to have sex with this doll? Anyway.
Weirdness, yeah. Just luckily they didn't go down that road. Luckily they didn't go down that road.
So M3GAN's not happy with that shit. And she ends up chasing the kid. She grabs him by the ears.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that shit was ridiculous. There's no way. I'm calling bullshit on the fact that ears can fucking pull that far apart before they rip off.
Yeah, that might have been a little far-fetched. That's
right.
But it was painful to watch. It was still painful to watch, though.
I don't have any data to back up my claim.
I just don't feel ears that stretchy.
I mean, they're stretchy, but not, oh my God. Like, he had, like elephant ears, basically.
Yeah. But it still was painful to watch, regardless.
Yeah, she ripped his ear off, and then she's chasing him through the woods, and
galloping like a fucking horse
on all fours. Like, what the fuck?
Like legitimately galloping.
And then she chases him, and he falls onto the road, and he gets fucking gauged.
He gets gauged. Another Pet Cemetery reference right there.
Gabe. I said Gabe. Gage. Fucking Gage. How did I forget that one? But, so Gemma starts becoming suspicious of M3GAN, because shit starts happening to people all around them. And then when she goes to check some of the files, because it constantly records video and audio, the files are either corrupted or erased and says, like, they can't be viewed.
Yeah.
And they're all of M3GAN's victims' deaths. Gemma turns M3GAN
anything that could be incriminating is missing.
Smart move. I mean, Gemma turns M3GAN off and takes her to her colleagues, Tess and Cole, almost alienating Katie, who violently lashes out due to her attachment to M3GAN. She almost stabbed her fucking therapist over that shit.
Yeah, when she kicks the car seat, when she's in the car and kicks her,
Yeah,
man, yeah, that's one of those scenes where you're just like, oh.
If I did that to my parents, if I kicked their fucking seat like that, you would have heard the tires squealing.
I was saying they'd have pulled the car over and I'd have gotten my ass
my ass beat. I mean, I guess I couldn't blame them because I did just kick their fucking seat and like hit them.
Yeah, but nowadays, that's considered abuse, to do that. So now you just gotta, the politically correct thing to do is just have a little talk with them. And that's what she does.
Yeah, she does. Gemma eventually apologizes for her absence as a parent and tries telling Katie that M3GAN is a distraction from her difficulty to cope with losing her parents instead of a solution. Gemma swears to Katie she will fully assume her parental responsibilities. And to be fair, she really does start trying to step up as a parent.
It's a little late, but she tries, yeah.
I mean, in fairness, she's all new to this. Like, she doesn't have any kids of her own.
She didn't ask for it. First of all.
She always assumed the role, told her sister she would always take care of her kid if anything happened. So, I mean, she's still trying to learn herself. Whereas versus learning when you first have, a baby, and you kind of grow together in those parent and child role. She's picking up with a 9-year-old kid, just no knowledge of anything.
Right.
But I mean, she starts trying, and then while M3GAN wins over Funk Guy's investors and convinces them to release a worldwide campaign in advance of her release, Gemma, Tess, and Cole decide to terminate M3GAN due to her unpredictability. Tess and Cole attempt to shut down M3GAN while Gemma takes Katie home, but M3GAN attacks them both, causes an explosion in their lab. Then M3GAN stabs David and his assistant Kurt to death, steals a car. That shit was legit. She just walks out, and she's just I guess because she got all that Bluetooth in her.
Yeah, dude, that was boss.
Just popped the door, just got right in the car and left.
I really liked that scene, how when she broke out of the lab, how the music kicked on, and that music is what she's dancing to, when she kills David. The dance scene was actually a random thought that director Gerard. A random thought that director Gerard Johnston had at 3 a.m. I think he said he woke up in the middle of the morning at 3 a.m. to take a piss, and had the idea that hey, I should make M3GAN dance, and that's how that came about. And he just wrote it in, and it worked. Shit, man, that scene was iconic before the movie came out. The theater had just internet was going wild over the doll dancing, and
which is funny. That's one of the things I saw in the trailer that made me go, I don't know about this movie, but I really don't think the trailers did a good job of portraying this movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But yeah, so she steals the car and drives back to Gemma's house. I guess we got pretty far into the story here, so we can cut here for non-spoilers. So I'll just give you some of my thoughts, and then Drew will give you his thoughts, and then we'll tell you get the fuck out unless you want spoilers, and then anyway, M3GAN, it's definitely a thought-provoking film. I feel like it leaves you questioning the role of technology in our lives. The performances are strong, and the special effects are pretty impressive. I think it's a must-watch for fans of science fiction and thrillers. One of the major themes of this film, I feel, is the relationship between humans and technology, and how it can be both beneficial and dangerous. The character of M3GAN is a representation of how we interface more with our devices, and how sometimes our devices become a distraction from us dealing with our real emotions. The film also deals with trauma and loss, and how that can affect us in different ways. And coming into this film, I wasn't sure I would like it. Like I said, the trailers didn't entice me to want to go out and see this. You told me you loved it, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, man, it's really good. And the Rotten Tomatoes score was really good. I'm seeing good reviews, and I'm just from the trailers I saw, I don't get it. So that's why I told you, when we review it, I said, I want to see what the hype's about. And I mean, it's a solid film for me for the reasons I just listed. I would give this a 7.6 out of 10.
Yeah. This movie is basically, to me, what this movie represented to me was when humans are trying to replace their connection with each other with technology. It's kind of the same thing where people say that you're doing online dating instead of or talking to people online instead of going out and dating. I feel that it's the same thing. It's M3GAN provided that a gap to be made between human connection and just allowing AI to take over and try to fill a human connection where a human connection should be, and the repercussions of that, and how you can't have an AI or a machine try to replicate being a human and have it not go wrong. You have to do your part. But this movie to me is what the Child's Play reboot should have been. An android doll that's built to be your friend and channel your emotions and shit. If this movie was called Child's Play, I know right away there would have been bullshit about how, it's a girl though. But if you saw the way it was done, I would have been fine with it being called Child's Play, personally. But I'm fine with it being M3GAN as well.
You're not fucking wrong.
And I'm fine with it being M3GAN, though. I loved it as a whole, the movie. I thought the pacing was damn near perfect. It didn't drag out at all. Do you feel differently about that? You're the one that always complains about pace. I feel like you complain about that more than me.
I like a nice tight movie. I like it tight. But,
don't we all?
I wouldn't say as in the way I complain about Jordan Peele movies, but there was parts of it where I'm like I kind of get it. Like, can we get moving on? But
Interesting.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm fine overall with it.
Okay. Well, to me, I thought that it, like you were saying, like, I thought it just kind of just got to the point. I didn't have an issue with the pacing. The way Gemma puts Katie off on Megan legit pissed me off, man. Like, she uses it as a parenting tool, which we just kind of discussed. But
Yeah.
before we did, I was complaining to my wife the first time I saw it. I'm like, yo, she's fucking legit, like, making Megan raise Katie, and kind of gave me that Terminator 2 vibe. The way Megan's like never too busy for Katie, doesn't get drunk or high. Oops. Never gets angry. She's a perfect protector as well as companion. The main reason the movie works, besides Megan being a scene stealer every scene she's in, is the emotional link that I think the audience has for Katie. Like, I felt so bad for her in that movie, and it legitimately made me happy to see her happy and become friends with Megan. Like, before she gets wild at the end, it becomes like a little feisty bitch. When you see her actually like smiling and interacting with Megan, you legit feel good for her. And the movie, like you said, it touches on deep topics like childhood trauma and things like that, and facing like our relationship with technology, and it balances it with a kick-ass killer robot doll and some nice dry dark humor sprinkled in. I was legit siding with Katie and Megan against Gemma to a point. Like, I loved this movie. It's not perfect, it's not great, but it's a solid movie, a good solid movie that's entertaining as well, and it has absolute rewatchability. It's one of those movies that you can put on when you want to relax or have a good time, or both. It's fun for the whole family. It's not very scary. 7.75 out of 10.
You know what I thought of? You were saying it has rewatchability. I thought of something, because I've just kind of started dabbling in the physical media. Now I feel like when movies come out, I don't think we've talked about it. I have a ridiculous number of movies on Vudu. I have over 700 movies on Vudu. So I don't have the physical collection you got, but I got them all in the cloud.
Yeah.
Now it's funny, because now that you've got me started in the physical media here, I see a movie like this and I have one of two ways. I go, well, I guess three. Would I buy it? Mm-hmm. And then it splits to, do I need it physically, or am I okay with it digitally? And I feel like this is one where I would be okay digitally. I don't feel like I necessarily need special features or commentary.
Okay.
For this movie.
Of course, I'm going to go with this physical media, but I agree that it's one of those ones that I could see why, like, there might not be that much need to really want to go into special features with this one. It's not a David Cronenberg film, you know what I mean? But at the same time,
Brandon Cronenberg.
Yeah, but at the same
with a new one.
time, Infinity Pool. But at the same time, I just I agree.
Yeah.
So now I guess it's time for
the spoilers. So you go to the general, save some time. We're gonna repack the bong and come back and talk about about the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I guess about the juicy stuff.
The juicy.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the general and save some time.
All right, we got the bong filled back up. We got some spoilers for you.
We're back.
So Megan confronts Gemma back at home, adamant and taken over as Katie's sole parental figure. Gemma attempts to shut Megan down again, but Megan overpowers her and threatens to paralyze her. That shit was interesting, where she's like, "Oh, I won't kill you. I'll just I go into this part of your brain," which I gotta imagine AI would get to that point.
Yeah.
Like Arnold, where he's like, he knows like exactly what to do to not kill the people.
Yep.
But she threatens to paralyze her so she'll be unable to care for Katie. And
using the same pen that Gemma has used on Megan in the film at least twice prior to at least one time prior, I'm sorry, to trick her into she uses this pen to like hold it in front of Megan's face to say like, hey, look at this, and Megan's consciousness will focus on the pen to distract her while Gemma turned her off. So now, Megan, using the same pen, decides, okay, I'm going to fucking paralyze you.
Yeah, what a bitch. Watching the fight unfold, a horrified Katie uses Bruce, which we see a little bit earlier in the film. You're in the spoilers, so if you have seen it, you obviously know. about Bruce, but he
Like,
was
like a blue Big Hero 6 looking guy.
dude. I swear to God, since we're in spoilers, I can just talk about towards the end now. I swear to God, I thought it was going to end up with Gemma getting a hold of the thing and using the robot, and I was waiting for some take on the line, "Get away from her, you bitch." I thought, dude, when the mech came out, I guess it's not a mech, it's a motion capture robot, but like, I thought dude, I just thought of Aliens when that shit was happening. But Katie actually is the one using Bruce.
When Bruce grabs Megan, and Megan's kind of like squirrely at first, I was like, yo, was she about to wrap him up in a fucking arm triangle?
Dude, I thought the same thing.
I thought she was about to do some MMA shit on
She's
him.
been watching them Ronda Rouseys.
Yeah, right?
Anyway, I also thought she was going to like Hulk with Loki. Megan,
Yeah.
because she was holding her up by the leg.
Totally ragdolling, yeah.
Fuck, I lost my place. But anyway, Bruce is a motion capture robot. Gemma had created, I think she said back in college.
Yeah.
And
It's like a project
they
she
use
worked
it to
on.
tear Megan apart. And classic robot fashion after the Terminator, we get a upper torso of a...
Even after ripped in half, Megan's
Yeah.
still coming.
Anyway, how Megan's head and arms remain active. She attempts to kill Katie for her betrayal. Gemma exposes a processing chip in Megan's head, and Katie uses a screwdriver and stabs her right through it.
It's essentially her brain. Yeah.
Dude, I told you after this, I thought again, because Child's Play theme, when you have to kill the heart. I just thought, you have to stab the chip. Megan seemingly destroyed. Gemma and Katie go outside as the police arrive with Tess and Cole, which this part made me fucking laugh. I told you right away. My man, Cole, got fucked up.
Mind you, the last time we saw it was when Megan blew the lab up.
Blew the lab up.
Right.
But it didn't necessarily show they were dead, just at least unconscious. There was no definitive death or anything like that. So that part's fine. My man, they didn't take him to the hospital. They let him ride over in the cop car with an oxygen mask on, which he rips off after he gets out of the car.
He gets out of the car, looks all disheveled, takes his oxygen mask off, and is like, why the
Like,
fuck aren't you at
runs
the
to her.
hospital? Why are you not at the
Yeah,
hospital?
like, why would they be like, why would they be like, why would you have law enforcement, paramedics, whatever, come to your job because there was an explosion? They're like, you need oxygen, but first, let's drive over to your coworker's house.
Let's grab an oxygen tank from this ambulance that you should be in,
Yeah.
and have you get in the cop car and use it on the way over to Gemma's house.
Go over to your coworker's house just
Yeah.
to see if she's all right. But anyway, yeah, that shit was fucking
That's
ridiculous.
questionable, but I'll let it go.
As they leave the house, having taken over the camera of Gemma's smart home, which is kind of like, I guess it would be equivalent to like Alexa,
Yeah, it's like
but it's like a video
yeah.
and thing. You can tell, it's not explicitly stated, but you can tell it's Megan taking over the camera of Gemma's smart home and ominously turns to watch him.
What does she call the robot? Do you remember what she calls it? I can't remember.
don't.
But my point is that it is Megan's consciousness, because if you remember, like at the end of the movie when Megan's playing piano, Gemma's trying to call its name to turn the lights on, and it doesn't work. Like it now obeys Megan. So then when you see it like move its head at the end, and even though it's like a cute little robot, you want to go, oh, the cute little thing. You realize like, no, that's fucking Megan in there. She's not dead. So yeah, man, totally sequel cliffhanger right there.
Man, it's bothering me. I can't remember what the hell the name of it
Yeah, I
was.
can't. It was well, for the sake of this episode, we'll call it Alexa. It was the movie's version of Alexa, but yeah, definitely a cliffhanger and definitely room for a sequel. And I think that they're actually in talks to do a sequel right now. Which
let me see. I saw something. It's on Wikipedia. So take that for what it's worth. It said the film grossed $61 million worldwide against a budget of $12 million, received largely positive reviews from critics, and praised for its campy blend of horror and humor, satirical elements, and performances. A sequel is in development.
yeah, I wonder
And it's
though.
got two references.
Okay,
It is from Collider and Deadline Hollywood.
I mean
They're saying
they're
there's gonna be
credible,
they're
credible
pretty
sources,
credible.
but the thing that gets me is that what I would like to see in part 2 is they said that when one of the options for
Megan becomes good, and then there's a more advanced version of Megan
T1000
who's liquid metal.
No. I was just gonna say that I would like to see like Megan be of a different orientation, because they said in the film that she can have like 6 different skin colors and hair types.
Yeah, there's 6 different skin pigments.
I think it would be a little repetitive if it's always just like the same. Like not that there's nothing against any race or being Caucasian or whatnot, but you just don't like with there being variation. I would like to see like version 2 look a little different than have it be the same doll every movie. That can kind of be a little repetitive, and I feel that they're losing a lot there if they don't take advantage of the fact that they can literally like make her look a different way. Like that could literally be every sequel. Like she's a black girl the next movie, then the next one she's Hispanic, then the next one she could be white again. Like they could literally change her and make it like fresh every movie.
Yeah, I actually brought up here the Collider article, and I believe it was from January 3rd of this year.
Okay.
And they were saying, depending how the box office did, if there would be a sequel, and James Wan had said he already knows where the sequel could go.
Oh, shit, okay.
Just said James Wan already knows where a Megan sequel could potentially go. So he's already ready.
So I have to ask you, though. So what was scarier, Megan, the movie, or Jason Blum dressed as Megan for the premiere?
Oh my God. I had not seen that photo, and you showed it to me. That shit was horrifying.
It is creepy as fuck,
he looks
man. It really
creepy
is.
as fuck.
Like he would be like the villain in a horror movie that like would trick you like into like getting into the back of his creepy fucking van.
I was making the joke for the Terminator 2 sequel for
Black
this.
phone, motherfucker. Sorry, what?
He could be the like more advanced one. It's the like life size version, and he plays the Megan in that one.
Megan gets her hands
He's
on
bad
steroids,
Megan, and then we have good Megan.
so he's gonna be like the tall humanoid Megan versus the android.
Yeah,
okay.
Because it's like the T2 route. You need something more advanced than Arnold to challenge him, because it would be pointless. Like.
Yeah.
If it was him against the Terminator, his strength, they could all just team up on him.
So we'll no, I'm not even gonna go there.
They'll all run a train on him.
Talk about Jason Blum fucking breaking into dances for the sequel. Like this is Megan gonna dance too. But
Jason Blum should just play Megan in all the sequels. That would be amazing.
That'd be terrible.
Amazingly
but
terrible.
please keep back in the movies because you're fucking doing a good job.
And next time, have better trailers that make me want to see the movie.
Well, I'm glad I convinced you to see this one. I really am.
Yeah, the trailer, I've harped on it a lot, but the trailers just, to me, were not good. None of that made me want to, I had no interest in seeing this movie, and then everybody's like, no, it's really good. I was surprised, I'll say, some final words here. I was surprised how much heart this movie had. I did not expect that going in.
Emotion and heart and soul for sure.
I just expected it to be like a terrible Child's Play.
Instead, it was what Child's Play should have been.
Yes, you were right. This, like how we had Hulu Razor, and they turned Pinhead into a female. I know the original story, blah, blah, blah. You could have did this with Child's Play the same way, and I'd have been fine. Yeah,
it would have made sense. It's like, it would have, instead of a doll being possessed by a soul. I mean, I think that's how they went in the reboot, though. They didn't do the soul thing. They just did like a robot gone wrong, but it was just done wrong. It wasn't done right. Yeah.
I just thought of something.
What's that?
The people of the internets need to make this happen. I need some clips of Megan, but with Brad Dourif's voice from like Chucky, from Chucky clips,
doing the laugh, doing the Chucky laugh.
That or like goddamn women drivers. I feel like that would be amazing. Somebody's eventually going to do that. So I don't really have too much more to say.
Yeah, no.
I guess I don't have anything really left to say. Not too much more. I still had stuff to say.
I just want to throw out there that if any of you listeners out there want to talk about Megan or agree, don't like with anything that we're saying, drop us some messages and comments. We love talking to you guys, and Megan's a hitter. So if there's anybody who has any questions about it or wants to shit on our opinion or agree with our opinion, let's talk about it. Reach out. Thanks to all the horror hounds and smokers out there for tuning in.
And make sure to keep up with us on social media at High on Horror 420 at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can always email us at highonhorror420@gmail.com. And go to highonhorror.com, check out some reviews, sign up for our newsletter. And I guess I'll about wrap her up. Catch you later.
Bye, everybody.